Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we will discuss about the Great Resignation. What are the factors that led to Great Resignation? What is that companies can do to arrest Great Resignation so that the talented employees could be retained and our nation's progress could continue. Now, what is Great Resignation? Great Resignation, or it is alternatively called Big Quit or Great Reshuffle. They refer to a situation where employees voluntarily resign jobs in search of what are called green pastures. This has started mostly in USA in the early 2021, but though the intensity might be less, but we can also find great resignation in other countries as well, including India. Now, what actually causes this great resignation? Definitely, to a large extent, the pandemic. The pandemic, for the first time, made the people to think about their life and their work. And what is that they want out of both? Earlier we were talking about work-life balance. Probably now people are looking for work-life integration. Now, did the companies what are called understood actually why the people are leaving? What are the reasons behind it? What is that they could do? Microsoft has done a study in 2022, and as per the report, 52% of the young people they would like to change their jobs. In their study, these young people they have taken Z generation and what are called millennials. Z means 18 to what are called 26, and the millennials is what are called 27 to 41. And today we know that these constitute a major chunk of the workforce. When they are thinking of leaving the companies, think about what will happen to the local companies survival or prosperity. Look at the another resource. LinkedIn 2022 global trend talent trend report says that people are ready to walk away out of the jobs. Microsoft in the same survey report, they have identified the top 5 aspects of work. In the sense, what is that they want from the workplace? Number 1, positive culture. A culture where they can experiment, where they can express freely, where their work is recognized, appreciated, support is extended, etc. The second, mental health. We're not talking about well-being. Well-being maybe how you feel about life, good and all that. But when you talk about mental health, you're taking a what called holistic approach. And the third aspect is what called purpose and the meaningful. The purpose for which organization works, does it what called inspire them, motivate them? Do they find meaning in their work? And flexible working hours. Today, the youngsters prefer to work in what called in a flexible atmosphere. And last but not the least, a paid vacation of what called 2 weeks in every year. But it has been found that there are two things on which most of the companies are what called missing. What is that? Number 1, flexible working hours, whereby they can have nice integration between the work and the what called the personal life. And the second and the most important thing is being in touch with the people. It is said that technology enables change, but it is the people who drive the change. In the pursuit of technology, when rapid technological developments are taking place, sometimes I wonder, are we losing touch with our people? Do we understand what they aspire for? Fine. Now there is a challenge. Whether human resource department alone could has to meet this challenge? No. HR alone definitely cannot do that. In the earlier discussion also we said that line managers have to chip in. HR department only recruits, but it is the line department which uses these human resources. So in other words, others could chip in. That means the managers, leaders, the IT department, they can definitely extend an helping hand to the HR department in creating a work environment which people trust and they don't entertain not even an iota of thought about leaving the company. Now some of the steps that could be taken to arrest this trend and to make the people feel good and also to improve the productivity of the people is, number 1, create a culture of feedback. People, especially the youngsters, they love to know how they are doing. But the purpose of the feedback should not be what you call, witch hunting or the fault finding. Let the feedback be what we call constructive. Let the people know, how they could what we call improve on upon it. The second one is what we call providing security. Now, in the case of remote work, most of the employees are what we call using high technological tools and all that. Now, are we providing enough security, so that no data theft, etc., what we call take place? And for this purpose, merely depending on vendors, what we call may not do. Maybe even what we call, captive development also has to be done within the company. The third and the most important thing for me is let's put data analytics to use. Gone are those days, when data was not used in its fullest extent. Today, the entire decision making process is based on what we call data. So, could we use like our HR analytics to get the crucial insights, how the employees feel about the work? What more can be done to what we call inspire them, to motivate them? What is that, what we call other companies offering, which we ourselves, could offer? The next one is invest in hyper automation. What I mean by hyper automation is that have a comprehensive set of what we call technologies to suit the company's needs. That's fine. What more employees can do? Gone are those days when you used to think that dhanam moolam midam jagat, or going by Milton Friedman, money alone matters. No, a bigger paycheck may not serve the purpose. In fact, Bain partners, Burns and Darnell, along with a Fred, in the book Winning on Purpose, the Unbeatable Strategy of Loving Customers, they say that a counterintuitive approach may be called for, wherein the customer happiness should be the top priority. Fine. When we are talking about customers, what we call happiness as a top priority, how you make customers happy? When you make your employees happy. So here we are talking about synchronizing the earlier inside out approach and outside in approach of what we call Dave Ulrich. There is a saying, you can't change the past. Yes, I do agree, but definitely we can impact the what we call future. So what are the insights we need to look for, so that we could create an environment of trust by shaping the required systems, procedures, and all that. And the work environment is structured in such a way that people love to come and give their best, and most importantly, they don't even what we call entertain a iota of thought of leaving the company. So let us try to find out what is it they like and what is it they dislike on the workplace. Number two, what are the things they need to be successful in their work assignment? Third, what is that what motivates them? What motivates one individual may not motivate other. We have seen in the hierarchy of what needs of Maslow's. What sort of support is required in the outside the workplace? Today we are talking about mental happiness apart from what I call physical happiness, in the sense the physical health and the mental health. Do our employees require any outside support? Now, what kind of conversations they would like to have with us? Probably when I am talking about these things, some of you could recollect the Gallup's 12 employment engagement questions. Am I having a friend? Do I have the required tools and techniques to work? Is my work is being recognized, etc.? So basically, the entire thing boils down to, have we made a sincere effort to know our employee, their desires, their aspirations, their career growth, especially what we call the younger generation. Now, once we understand our employees, what is that what they want, and accordingly what create systems and procedures and structure the work environment, I'm not only sure, nay confident that great resignation will come to an end. When we are discussing about all this great resignation and all that, I am remembered of what I call two famous quotes. One is about Maya Angelou, who says, people may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but people will not forget how you make them feel. During the pandemic, we have seen how some companies, especially their CEOs, have gone out of their way to come to the what I call rescue or to the help of their employees in times of what I call distress. And similarly, we have also seen what I call employees, who never what I call hesitated in serving the pink slip over what I call Zoom call. And to conclude, I am reminded of what I call Virgin founders Richard Branson's famous quote. When somebody asked him, "Sir, you are asking us to what I call invest in employees' training if they decide to leave," then his stock reply was, "Train them so enough that they feel like leaving, but train them so well they don't even think of what I call leaving." So let's not worry about what kind of great resignation as such. It is a passing, what kind of period as such. So as long as companies make a sincere effort to understand people's what you call, desires, aspirations, and accordingly, create work, environment by suitably, designing the procedures, systems, and all that, I'm sure employees will stay back and give their what you call best. Thank you.